I've been to a lot of film festivals over the years. Film festivals are places where cinema comes alive. These are young filmmaking voices, usually, if it's done right. Young filmmaking voices trying to make a name for themselves out in the world, and a lot of times this comes in the form of short films. Film festivals are quite frankly where short films live, for now at least. But short films have a greater importance to cinema and its history than many would realize. Today I'd like to take you through exactly that, a brief history of short films. Where they are, where they've gone, where they're going, all that jazz in a bag of chips. Our earliest films were short films. These are 2 to 5 second pictures in motion, hardly films in the way that we categorize them today. Edward Muybridge, The Horse Galloping, or Thomas Edison's kinetoscope filmography. You know, the guy sneezing, that's absolute cinema right there. Of course, the Lumiere brothers and a lot of their industrials, including the train arriving at the station. Yeah, a lot of early boxing, believe it or not. Boxing was big in early cinema, so much so that those are frankly some of the earliest bits of long form cinema, at least until we reach 1906 with the story of the Kelly Gang. But like, I'm not joking, there are like 2-hour-long boxing matches that were made in the 1890s that like are completely lost now, but it's like, everyone's like, these are the first feature films. And it's all like, some people are just never gonna take documentary seriously, huh? Right? Huh? But I don't know what it was. Early cinema was really just interested in getting longer and longer. I think a really good inflection point is George Méliès with A Trip to the Moon. It's like, that's 15 minutes long in color. Sometimes it's like, oh, we can do that. And so a lot of people wanted to make long films. A lot of really great films have sprouted from that. But I think our best filmmakers really stuck to their guns and really honed their craft in the short form. These would be now called some of our great auteurs, but I think at the time were passing follies, passing fancies. The comedians like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. But I'd say by the 20s, short films became completely relegated to a part of a package. Let's go see Abel Gance's Napoleon. You know, and that was that like a wide release? It was a limited release in the US. They cut it down a bunch in London. This is why it's a big deal that we have it all and that we've restored it. Netflix financed it? Dang. No, but so we'll go see a longer movie, and then before that, like a 10-minute Harold Lloyd. And then when cartoons came in the mix, Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks and Max Fleischer with Popeye and all that, those became staples. I mean, it was a thing that if they didn't screen it, it's like, where's my Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse became like a shorthand for short films for a time. But I'd have to wager that it was probably around the 50s or the early 60s where this kind of phenomenon dropped off almost entirely. So you just go see a movie, raw movie. But then the 70s happens, film schools start to become a thing in general, and short films kind of get made through just the educational process of it all. You know, the films of George Lucas, the Scorsese shorts. Have you seen any of the Scorsese shorts? They're kind of amazing, and they kind of show pure filmmaking. It's insane what he's doing and where it all leads to Taxi Driver and Irishman and all that. And so that's like the start of like a new swing up of like the short film now being used for the benefits of independent cinema. By the 80s, film festivals become really prominent. Robert Redford's just created Sundance. Cannes has created a new jury for foreign films and decreased censorship. And so the field is wide for young filmmakers to submit short subjects to independent circles such as these and gain some traction. So begot the very successful careers of some Paul Thomas Anderson, Wes Anderson, Darren Aronofsky, Taika Waititi, Lynn Ramsey, Todd Haynes, the list goes on. I think the peak of the festival short era is like 2002 to 2005, those early 2000s. Then around those mid-2000s, really the internet comes and takes shape as a place for creative expression, especially videos. On platforms like Newgrounds and Media Cafe and Vimeo and Dailymotion and of course YouTube. Whether we knew it or not, this was a way that film became even more democratized. And you know, I mean, let's look at the timeline here. You know, you have early cinema where it's like, this is a luxury, this is an experiment, and then this becomes a thing that corporations grab hold of in the studio system. And then film students can do this, and then independent filmmakers can do this, but it's still an incredibly expensive venture, so they have to find a million different funders. And now with video camcorders and digital cameras, and then suddenly the phones, we can make short subjects whenever we want, frankly, to the point of excess. We probably make short films every day, and we just don't even track it that way. I mean, that's the debate. Is a TikTok, is a Snapchat a short film? I'd say yes. Intent is the only thing that's sort of been lost a little. It's up to us to now keep narrative alive, whether that's in the form of fiction or nonfiction. Even if it's not the case anymore that people are getting found from short films, short films are extremely important to the lifeblood of cinema. And certainly giving people an opportunity to be seen, but more in the opportunity to create. And so the short film makes it feel really possible to be able to tell stories through cinema. It can help artists determine their styles bit by bit. And certainly to my view, with history in mind, the shortest sentences can sometimes pack the biggest punch. And so cinema operates all the same. If you looked up short film on YouTube, you'd probably find millions of stuff. People who made, you know, small budget movies with like crews of 10 that have like 1,000 views max. A person who made something with 2 friends and that's got 2 views. Or your anomalous Wesley Wang, Nothing Except Everything, you know? Shout out to people like Joel Haver and American Baron and the folks at Creator Camp, Monique Yvonne, who've really taken the short film to heart in all of the different permutations of it as it stands in modern day. We should all be watching more short films, making some short films if we have the gumption, and celebrating them as part of the fabric of cinema as much as anything that we see in the theaters. Is this a good video? I don't know. It's a start. Thank you for watching Turner Classic Companion, your one-stop shop for what plays on TCM, the Criterion Channel, wherever you find amazing classic films and conversations about movies and things. Here's a video that I made introducing people to the channel. It might have changed by the time you're watching it. It's probably gonna be that like last video. I don't know how this works. I'm new to like widescreen YouTube, so.